get into this match. Now, if you guys don't know, if you are new, you haven't been watching RLCS, Dumb Luck, that's Vort, Luna, and Laxon, and to give you maybe a little bit of a quick rundown on why you should cheer for them, is you have Laxon. He's actually one of the very few New Zealand players, but he's been long kind of lauded as this highly mechanical player. He's been on some solid teams and made some runs, but never really felt like he stuck with it. Never really stuck with the team, stuck with a long run, stuck with even competing at times. So every time he comes back, he's got onto a team, just a random team, on a fun team, and just started competing with the best. He was part of a team that almost took down Pioneers and would have ended their run in the winter of last year. That almost would have cost Pioneers their first ever major spot. So he's coming back. Luna was on the rise through last year, apart from winter through to spring. In spring had really, really good results, and then we'll see. Didn't do too much in the last split. We'll see how things are going, but it's looking good this split. Oh my, what an angle. Misty. And then you have Vort, who's been our perennial top 8. He's made a couple of top 4s. And I'd say has been significantly underrated for a long time. It's almost felt like he hasn't... He's never really on the front of people's minds, and I think a large part of that, he's a very quiet guy, very reserved. You don't get to hear much from him. I don't know what he does on Twitter. And so he's almost forgettable, which is to the detriment of a lot of his opponents in recent times, because he is that kind of consistent player. And then over at the other end, it's almost the leftovers team, the Him Police. They have obviously the chance to prove themselves that they aren't that as Laxon scores, but they have the chance to prove that with Misty kind of falling out with Fiber. Fiber left him for Ground Zero for, a big team, and Vortex had gone and looked at some other options. They almost did still team together, Vortex and Misty. However, last second, Shores got dropped, and by last second I literally mean like just a few hours left of roster lock. Shores got dropped from Ground Zero for Super Locky, and so with just a few hours to go, he took that spot on this team that Vortex was originally in, and so then Vortex moved to Dumb Luck, and not necessarily a bad move it seems for Dumb Luck. This could be maybe proof in the pudding here on how the results of this match. But if Dumb Luck were to beat Him Police here, it would be somewhat vindication for Vortex. So Shaw's obviously getting dropped last second, and full credit to Ground Zero. You're gonna take Super Lucky if you've got the opportunity. And Mock has been a consistent top performer on through the last split, so did lose both of his teammates though. Siki retired, and Hunter got picked up by KCP, so again was a leftover player left without a team. But on paper, pretty solid team. Misty in the past has had MVP, best in the region level performances in individual series or individual days at least. But outside of that, has kind of struggled to have a carry performance. So it'll be interesting to see through the lifespan of this team whether he can start having those performances consistently or not. Mock has been a consistent, strong performer, very fast, and kind of creative with opening up the net, but hasn't had too much success in his career just yet. He has had a second place at the beginning of last split. Outside of that, not too much success. And then Shores has also had a second place at the end of last season, under that team that ended up taking on all three of the top teams and then losing in the grand final against KCP at the very end. So Still some good experience and some good results, but the only player on this pitch who's won a regional is actually Misty. 3 days left, or they keep saying with a few hours to go for roster lock, but even still, there was a big shuffle down. So these two are seeded 8th and 9th, and that's because the seeds are based off the last 3 events, including the major. So they would include Event 1, the major, which only 2 teams got any points in, Power and KCP obviously, and the end of last split, the 3rd event of last split. And neither of these teams played in the 3rd event of last split, so they didn't get any points from that for seeding, where there's some other teams that did get points from that, plus a few points in this split, so they'd be overall ahead of these guys. That's why they end up as that number 8 and number 9 seed, despite coming top 4, both teams. And and obviously they have to play a tiebreaker, because if I recall, the earlier tiebreaker, the tiebreaker before actually playing out a match, is who has the best results in the most recent event, and in the most recent event they tied. They both came top 4, so they'll need to play it out. That being said, quality-wise, they're both top 5, top 6 teams in OCE. They both came top 4. With Power getting knocked out in quarters, you're going to probably say that's not going to happen too often. You're going to expect that there'll be multiple chances for... that like multiple slots, Power, KCP, and Ground Zero will take 3 of those top 4 slots in the future. Now that their seeding is kind of sorted out, they'll all be in separate sides of the bracket, most assumedly. But you never know. Maybe they'll also, somebody will lose a match in the groups and change that to based off the seeding, but does seem somewhat unlikely, especially with how the groups ended up playing out last time. Those end up those kind of 3 teams, except for the fact that Ground Zero up against KCP did win out their groups. Being said, there was some closer matchups. KCP lost a couple to the Him Police in their group stage. A couple of games, not a couple of series. It was good from Mock. Good to see him kind of get creative, as we talked about. Just faking that one high, faking a longer air dribble, took it low. Pre-jump from the defense, not so ideal. But you can understand why they did go for that pre-flip. Oh, sorry, not 8th or 9th in seeding points. Yeah, you're right. 8th or 9th in total points, and the invites are based off world's total points. Seasonal points. Jacob, I'm going to assume you're new, which is awesome, to watching OCE RLCS. There's 2 slots for OCE teams to go to the majors. And on top of that, when it comes to Worlds, OCE could earn an extra 2 slots, though that seems very, very, very unlikely now after the first major. But could earn an extra slot by averaging top 8 throughout the events. So top 8 for any OCE team. So like whoever placed best out of the 2 OCE teams going will earn points towards a potential extra slot at Worlds. Which will happen in August, if I recall. At the end of the 3 majors. It's a much better start as well for Him Police. He's keeping a lot of forward pressure. Maybe he's making a little too soon. Maybe a little too soon. They had all the pressure, but it was just one quick play out. That's a banger of a shot from Luna. Couldn't have been better placed. I think Misty may have been able to save that, but the team dunk, I think it was by Shores, doesn't really help out there. And so Dumb Luck well within this. Once again. Oh my, Laxon pre-jumped off the roof from a mile away. Showing a lot of confidence there. Goes to the infield pass and oh my goodness! How does he read that? Laxon has gone for a great infield, zinger in, and he's managed to recover off the backboard, read it, get the angle at the same time. I mean, this is the young lad who would hope be performing at the top level, would be carrying a team. Or I shouldn't say carrying a team, but be having a team built around him. And we're kind of seeing that happen here, and especially any team with Vort. Vort's like a really great second man type player, kind of player who controls the pace of the game, but not necessarily a player who, at least in the big matches, has made a lot of the massive plays. Speaking of, not ideal. Not ideal. Oh, we do skip the goal as well. I'm just gonna skip goals. Don't know what the requirements are there, but typically I just automatically do it. But maybe if there's an absolute stunner of a goal, then I'm sure we'll just watch that one out. So at the moment as well, by the way, guys, kind of, if you did miss that last weekend, the big upset was Power, the #1 seed and definitive favourites. I got knocked out in the quarterfinals by KCP. KCP having lost their group, or came second in their group to Ground Zero. Which now leaves Power in a bit of a predicament. They need to make 2 placements over the top of KCP to earn a tiebreaker at the end of the split. So that sounds not too difficult in thought, in theory, because that just means they beat KCP twice or 3 times, and they go with a chance of them not getting into a tiebreaker if they do even better. However, from what it looks like of the seeding, from what we determined last night, is it looks like it's likely that Ground Zero and Power would be on the same side of the bracket, given both of them win their group, and would verse each other in the semi-finals, and KCP would be the #1 seed because of the number of points they earned in this last event over the top of Power. Oh my. Here we go. Laxon slowing it down, gets the flip reset off the roof, but because he also stayed behind it, it gave his teammate plenty of opportunity to demo. It's a really nice goal. Laxon's having a big one. Yeah, so Power will be on the same side of Ground Zero, so now it's very realistic that they need to beat Ground Zero and KCP in order to just make up 1 spot. But if they do that, this next event is pretty much everything for Power right now. If they do that, they'll probably go back, or almost 100% go back to being a higher seed, and will make their run a lot easier for the 3rd event, and maybe would set that up for success. So this 2nd event is going to be incredibly important for Power. It'll also be interesting when it comes to these teams. I'll have to hope that they're on the same side of KCP, and there is every chance that one of these 2 teams, let's say it was those guys in the semi-finals, they would be able to cause the upset against KCP. It would be possible. At the moment, you wouldn't predict it, but it would be a massive moment for multiple teams chances of qualifying for the major, because a lot of these teams, and these two teams, still well within the running for the major. They are ahead of Power if they made the grand final. With Power in the grand final as well, then it's actually an incredible spot. They'd be on the same points as Power, and have the potential, if they won, to equalize KCP as well. Looks like we might be heading into a longer overtime. And it's these solo plays that I'm particularly interested in. We've seen a lot of them be very successful for Laxon so far. And it's not even a solo play. It's just Laxon over the top, gets his hat-trick. Not a great challenge by Mock, and Shaw's caught out a little bit by that one. Was in this area underneath the ball where it was very difficult to go up without making it obvious that you could get beaten to the ball, because he was in an awkward spot facing away from the ball. And if he went up, then somebody like Laxon would see that it'd be a bit slower in the air and would be able to beat him up even if they went afterwards. So really, really tough spot. And for Dumb Luck, they're now in an excellent spot, 2 games up, I should say. Most notably making somewhat of a comeback in that game to get themselves back into it, constantly fighting back on goals. Which means we're going to head to the third game. And obviously a must-win for the Him Police. It is kind of like an unofficial third place match. But this is an official tiebreaker match. Winner of this gets invited straight to the main event. Loser goes through closed qualifiers. So this is an official match. And it is an unofficial tiebreaker, because these were the two teams, third place match, because these were the two teams that came top 4 in the last event. But this is an official RLCS match. There is RLCS admins sorting it out at the moment. They're watching, making sure all the rules and stuff are kept. And I'm just here watching so that you guys can, and myself can, see what's going on, see why a team gets the invite. And I'm sure it's going to be a good match too. Still expecting it to be a pretty tight battle. There's an overtime in the last one. But even if Dumb Luck were to continue getting game wins, I do believe that it would still be a tight series, just end up being a 4-0 with close games, I should say. I don't think any of these games are expected to be one-sided throughout the rest of the series. We've seen Him Police kind of attempt more of a structured play style. Oh my, almost finds the Psycho, the reactionary Psycho coming out from Mock, but yeah, they've been playing a lot more structured, looking for a lot more pressure in the opposing half, rotating quite wide, but somewhat relies on Dumb Luck making some defensive mistakes, losing boosts, which hasn't been too costly just yet. More notably, I think they've taken it a little bit too far at times. There's been a couple of Dumb Luck counterattacks, and that's why we had 7 goals in the last game. If Him Police can just settle themselves a little bit here, then they won't be conceding as many goals, and that will play out how they want to. But we'll see, because the other thing is Dumb Luck have been very creative with their attacks. Laxon's been popping. So every chance that they still find a lot of goals regardless. And if that's the case, then we'll start needing to see somebody from the Him Police really step up. That's most likely going to be either Misty or Mock. I think both of them are good to go when it comes to having a carry performance. We've seen Shores be able to do it, especially early on in his RLCS career at the end of last season. Had some big performances on an individual level, but he's tended to play a little bit more of a third man role recently. Seeing Dumbluck as well play the defense pretty patiently. Not rushing themselves too much. That's a problem. Saved out by Misty. It was looking a little worrisome there for him, Police. Luna with some time. He's going to look for Laxon. That's what you're going to see most of the time. Laxon getting himself into an interesting position on the backboard to try and create this first goal. Something creative. It's going to be Luna again underneath. Laxon has the follow-up. Misty stayed behind it, solid as a rock. There's 50 seconds remaining as well in this game. Completely counter to the last one, where it was 6 goals at this point. Now it's 0. Little bit of him Police not pushing up so hard, but they've also done a good job shutting down a lot of these Dumbluck attacks. So overall, I think good signs for him Police more than anything else, especially if they score this goal. Great touch past Luna, but Mock was thinking that would bounce back into center. You see him pushing more across the net to get around, and in the end the ball goes around him. Still a shot from Misty, goes high. Laxon manages to recover and avoid the bump. Some close opportunities coming out here for him Police. They really feel like on the verge of scoring and getting back into this series, but it will be another overtime. Who's going to be that miracle worker? Probably for the Him Police. I've already seen Laxon having a big series, but it's going to be interesting to see who scores this goal. If it will be a Him Police win. Misty's got a good touch there. Luna awkward, and that's just in. It was just a good touch towards the top of the net. Well placed. You can see it. Misty was underneath the ball and still manages to get around it. I don't think Luna expected that to be a shot on net with that much power, that well placed, because he definitely wasn't positioned for it. And that means that it will be Misty the one to step up to score the goal. Nicely set up by Shores off the sidewall as well, and most importantly, a really good game for Him Police. Not necessarily looking like they were going to win the entire game, but more notably stopping Dumbluck from scoring so many free space goals, from being able to use the creativity, from really overtaking. Luna did have a few kind of solo play opportunities that didn't quite pan out as well as he'd have liked, but that was largely to Him Police kind of winning the read on those Luna plays, which all said and done is the large reason why Laxon wasn't finding any space either. And I think if they want to kind of make a tweak, I don't know if they will, considering it was an overtime, but I do expect that if they make a tweak, it should be Vortex getting a little bit more involved, playing a bit faster, and really starting to put the Him Police on their toes. I think he can also use his pace to get a few demos as well, just to disrupt that wide rotation that's happening from the Him Police. Make them kind of sweat a little bit, because at the moment they're trying to play a very comfortable game where they're keeping a lot of possession, they're keeping the boost levels low on Dumbluck. And so the moment that 3-man rotation goes down to just 2, and I don't know what Vort was doing there. I wish we could get a replay of just that, because it looked like Vort was trying to wave dash and ended up doing a few Kami dashes in a row around the ball. It was one of the most interesting misses of all time. And you know what? We'll save the replay. We might have a look after it, a look at it afterwards, to really get that POV, because it may have just been where we were looking from at the other end. Oh, this is a rough double commit, but Shaw's manages to get the extra touch. Him Police haven't been double committing a lot, haven't been kind of panicking. But in that case, it was that kind of second and third man out for nothing and a long way in the air. It would have put them in a terrible position. Maxon did find the breakaway, but doesn't find the goal. A lot of attempted clears happening at the moment. I would have liked to see some of these be at least hit towards teammates, especially for Dumb Luck, because they are willing to push somebody ahead for a pass, but it's not going to work out if you're just reactionary going for the clear downfield. Oh, another miss from Vort. And that one a pretty bad one. It didn't really end up being costly, but it did cost them the opportunity to quickly turn the tides to get to the other end, to develop a little bit of space in their own back half, where his teammates could have secured the big boosts. This time Vort, I think, purposely fakes out that one so he could go for the demo. And that is a space building play coming out from him, but oh my goodness. It's looking a little bit shaky at the moment, Dumb Luck. Still going to be 0 apiece. And Vort has got the breakaway. Ground pinch would be a goal, because Misty was also bumped coming in as third man. Look at all these bumps and demos that are coming out from Dumb Luck. Very hard to read at the moment, but I think they're also being quite risky. They've been costing maybe possession for Dumb Luck because they're keeping a person forwards. So they're losing their third man, Vort, again. This time bumped out of the way of the touch, but it's like 4 touches in a row that Vort has not got contact with for various reasons. Minute 20 remaining, still 0 goals, so after what started as a very high scoring affair has slowed down quite a lot. Shaw's was looking for a doink. Over towards the net, did find the angle. Good attempt from Misty. I like him going up the backboard, starting to put the pressure on Dumb Luck. Mock looking for some bumps. They have opened up the net. Oh, it's gone crossbar for Misty. He scored the game winner last time and can't find the net this one. 46 seconds remaining. That could have been the equalizer in the series. Would have won them the game. Now there's a lot more hard work. That being said, Him Police have had a lot more possession, a lot more control over this game. They haven't really felt too shaky at any real time. Even with the bumps coming in, they've avoided them quite well, just like Mock did there. And this might be the first trouble moment with Misty hitting the sidewall away from his teammates. It's a desperation move to try and give a little bit of space in their back half to get some boost. And them hitting the ground, super important there for Him Police. They were in a rough position. Managed to turn it around well. This is 3 overtimes in a row. This has been Struggle Street, and here we go, Vort! He's the one to step up. He missed earlier, not anymore. He's got them the goal in 10 seconds of overtime. Touches the roof, gets up the wall, and doubles it in. A demo in the back half makes sure no one could possibly make the save. So, despite the risks I talked about, they didn't concede a goal, Dumb Luck, and they did pay off by scoring that overtime goal with the demo. And that puts Dumb Luck on the match point, one away from not just putting themselves in the main event, but also proving that they could be the number 3 team of the last event, and also starting or even continuing a winning record up against what is likely to be their closest rivals, which would make them the current number 4 team definitively. If we saw Dumb Luck here come in as the victor, then I think nobody would put Him Police. I mean, Him Police is currently number 4, Dumb Luck number 5. I don't think anybody could argue that either of them are 6 at the moment, so it would definitively put Dumb Luck as the number 4 team in the region. They are one away, so what can we see from the Him Police? Try and turn it around. It'll be interesting. I'm starting to think that their controlling game, their wide rotations, as much as they are a great foundation, like we talked about over the weekend, for the team to go to that next level, I would almost like to see them in this series throw that to the wayside, throw everything they possibly can going forward, like we saw there from Shores. Go for that demo. I think it was a good play. Find some good infield passes, some solo plays from Shores I think could be good. But maybe worry less about controlling the game and the possession. So it hasn't quite worked out for them. That being said, it has obviously been a very, very close series in terms of the games. So long term, I think it's a perfectly reasonable game plan against Dumb Luck. And a good game plan in terms of their future improvement. But if you've got an opportunity, if you've got a best of 7, you are in that kind of death knell area of the series, it's a good chance to go for some experimentation as a team. Try something drastically different and see what works and what doesn't. Bring out what may work or what doesn't work into your more regular play. I think for now it really does feel like more of par for the course. There's been a couple of moments like the Shores bump attempts that makes it look like they're trying to play just a little bit more aggressive, but for the most part still very rotational. Still spending a lot of time in this defense as Dumb Luck probably feel very comfortable of their own, but there is somewhat of a misfortune for Dumb Luck of spending so much time in that front half, that forward half, is that it actually does remove a little bit of their room for starting a solo play, an air dribble. And there's a counter-attack that will come out from Him Police. They get them off to a good start. The first regulation goal in 3 games, crazily enough. But yeah, Dumb Luck have been actually, funnily enough, reeled in a little bit too hard into the attack. It's reduced their ability to slow down a play, set up a flip reset, set up a dribble, because they've been constantly close to the net in an area where obviously it's advantageous to the defenders to come out for an earlier challenge. And on the same note, they also pushed a little bit too hard and got counterattacked very quickly in that play. All credit to Misty, who did recognize when there was open space, and Mock has blocked it. Second goal here for the Him Police. They're not going to go down without a fight. Luna getting read like a book. I'm sure Mock was hoping for at least just to get a solid touch to keep them stuck in the defensive end, but he got even more. He got the dunk towards the net. So Dumb Luck in a 2-goal deficit in a game where they haven't had a lot of opportunities. Not a great sign to take it here in game number 5. Do still obviously have 2 more chances afterwards, but by the time they get to that game 7, I really wouldn't back them too highly to make the comeback too. After so much, if it would have to have been so much of him police kind of figuring out the series by then. We may even see the first game go in regulation time as well. First goal in regulation time, the first decision in regulation time. This is for 4 games, or 3 games in a row of overtimes, 2 games in a row of 0 goals in regulation time. And it looks like Dumb Luck in too much of a precarious position, unfortunately. Or maybe I've spoken too soon. Laxon once again. That's a quick flip reset. He set it up nicely. And was able to get it just enough to tip over the last defender. With 21 seconds left, Dumb Luck back within the chance. Oh, and it was Luna. Didn't quite get down to that ball. Tried to use flip to get a little extra reach, but it also put him high on the ball. So, not ideal. Vortex missing another one. 3 seconds left. Have to be something special here to keep this one up, and if anyone could do it, it would be Laxon, but put down by the Him Police and brought back slightly into their favour. Looks like Mock's going to change the car. Oh, sorry, it's Shaw's changing car. Mock explaining it for him, so must be feeling a little uncomfortable. Shaw's hasn't, I don't think he's had a bad series, but he hasn't had any great moments either. And so it will be exciting to see him maybe step up for something in this game and be the difference maker on this comeback road for the Him Police. And already, the man of question comes to bear. Shaw's right off the kickoff. 2 players taken out. Reads the corner well. Luna not back. Didn't get to see whether Luna covered from the corner or not, but either way, he wasn't there early enough to make the save. There's 3 goals in a row now for the Him Police as well. Sorry, actually no, because Dumb Luck scored at the end of the last, so what am I talking about? That's 1 goal in a row there for the Him Police. Well done. It might be 2. Misty hitting the backboard. The demo from Luna. He may be looking for another one. He's forced Misty to go up into the air. But I'm sure he would have loved that demo on Mock more than anything else. Mock having beaten out teammates. Pass back. Shaw's looking for another one. Still is just going to be happy to keep that crunched in. And there we go. Shaw's 2 for 2. Manages to find his second goal. Pinched out by Mock. Shaw's just kind of sees a gap. Vort, he's faking out there. And can't blame Short Vort too much. He probably thought his teammate was behind, but did get bumped out. But it is a risky play to fake out the way that he did, especially from so far away from the ball. Oh my goodness. Shaw's immediately on the hat-trick. And the Mock's touch off the roof. I don't think the defenders expected he still had the flip. And that's what allowed him to get the half volley. Surprised them all. 3-goal lead in 1 minute. We had 2 games go to 0-all overtime. Are you feeling it, folks? I'm starting to feel the Him Police comeback train It's looking almost impossible to not be a game 7. Though we did see a couple of 3-goal comebacks just this last weekend. Feel like a game 7 on the cards. And Dumb Luck need to start turning things around soon. This has been all one-way traffic for the most part. Dumb Luck have even been stuck in their own defense. It is surprising to see Vort getting beaten to balls, not quite getting the touches he wants. Usually the first one up in the air, plays very close to it and gets up quickly, confidently. Hasn't been the same story in this series so far. And with Shaw's stepping up for the Him Police, he was our kind of question man. We kind of need to see the same from Vort if they want to turn around their most recent string of games. And game 7's the only chance it really feels like he's going to have to do it. Rough clear from Misty. Fort was up to it first, but he missed. I think trying to get up to it quickly, but still get over the top of it and put it down towards the net when... I think realistically, if he just hit that up, if he just got up to it as quickly as he possibly can and hit it upwards, which is also advantageous in terms of getting speed towards the ball, then he would have done a lot because he had 2 teammates with him. Maybe ready to follow up on his touches, but maybe it did a bit of desperation. A score being 3 goals down, that can lead towards players attempting to just take more shots, go more direct towards the net. I'd say it's probably the biggest thing that we've seen from Gen G recently is they never really feel desperate, always happy to go for the pass. In this case, Dumb Luck's a little bit of desperation works out for them. Vort completely misses the ball, but lands in a position where he can turn this into a infield pass. So once again, Dumb Luck never really feel completely down and out. Down 3 goals and get it back within 2, just a minute and 15 remaining. Still going to be a very hard effort, but definitely also much more possible now. Laxton's a great touch. Goes to the bump. That's in. Laxton's bringing it back. Dumb Luck will not concede without a fight. A rough clear from Mock. It looked like he must have been trying to do a similar half volley to previously, where he would half volley it a long way down, use the power coming up from the ground and him coming down, the change or the sort of perpendicularness, whether that's a word or not, you guys will have to tell me, of the touch, putting a lot of power on it, but in that case he powered it straight down. He's misread it. 36 seconds left. Dumb Luck circling, hoping for a mistake, and that was the first one. Luna wasn't quite ready for that to be left drifting across the net. Vort does have Luna, gets the half volley. Luna with a shot on. Mock was looking to just cover the net. Shot too far away to really catch him off guard. Vort here has some space up against the wall. Fakes underneath Shaw's. It's a 3v1 and that's a big old fail. Oh, they had the 3-1 and there was a miscommunication. One player heading off for boosts. A pass across to nobody. But if ever there was going to be a 3-goal comeback, that was it right there. That was the opportunity blown, and that puts Him Police on game 7. They're going to equalize with match point. And we knew this was going to be close, but it looked like it was going to be a one-way series for a second there. Went to 3-1. It was 2-0. And it felt like Dumb Luck were going to continue on their form. Shaw's getting the hat trick, almost 700 points. So he also gets 3 saves. The question then lies, Him Police, will they continue the momentum that they've had early on in the game last 2 times? Will Shaw's be able to step up? Will he even need to? Because Dumb Luck making some few missed decisions here at the end of this game maybe shows some desperation, some nerves getting to them. But here we go. That all goes out the window. Nerves, desperation, how the series went. You got to throw it out when you go to Game 7. Can't have that in the back of your mind. It's just going to come down to who plays best right here, right now. And it's going to be Misty looking for goal 1. He's forced 2 up in the air. A rough recovery from Laxon as well. If the Him Police could have stayed in attack there, may have worked out. Vort will have a chance. Goes for the pass. Oh, no, not again. Dumb Luck just can't even hit the ball at this point in time. And it could have been a goal, should have been a goal, would have been a goal on any other day of the week. But here in Game 7, it feels like they're just stretching too far. Down at the other end, we've seen Him Police stuck on the defense for a lot of this final game. Getting caught out with the ball over their top of their heads. Potentially with the boost advantage, bump on Shores is going to make it awkward, but look at Dumb Luck running back, scared of that counter clear. Oh, and another miss from Luna. It's the booster wide open net. Laxon was back, but the miss was costly as well. It would have given them an attacking chance. And as we've seen for Dumb Luck, every opportunity on the attack has been important. Not quite getting the power on that flick. Luna looks for the bump. Blocked out by Mock. Real back and forth stuff here. Luna staying behind the ball. Good communication to give it over to Laxon. Vort was up as well. Forces Misty to go to the corner, but it's teamwork that has been the story for Him Police. The play style for Him the Police. Even out of defense, they're working the passes. Oh, not the best touch to Luna, but has been backed up by Vort. Looks to get it over 1. In a center for Luna. Goes careening off to the side. Luna again. Sees that ball. Just jumping past him. Shaw's going to back off. Just let Vort take the shot. Use it to keep possession or take possession. Oh no, double miss. It's getting dicey, folks. Oh, it's getting really dicey, folks. You wouldn't expect to see so many misses, but it's been back and forth at both teams. Faking out each other. But Dumb Luck have really had the advantage in this game. They've thrown away a couple of chances, but outside of that, spent so much time in front of this net. They better hope to score soon, because we've also seen Him Police have some great counterattacks. A demo, but Mock stayed in the net, went further back to avoid it. Kept his team alive. 0-all in the regulation. Starting to look a lot more like games 3 and 4. Laxon, what a redirect. Hits the crossbar. If that was on, I don't know if there was much they could have done about it. Laxon's missed that one, though. Luna caught a little bit far on the line. See both teams trying to slow it down. Take it to the air. Him Police taking it up high 3 times in a row. Challenged out by Laxon once again. Misty puts the shot on. Laxon back. He's trying to do everything at the moment. And it's working out. He's getting 50 after 50. Does he go for the air dribble bump? No, he goes for the flip reset into the bump. No follow-up. They don't want to take the risk with a minute to go. And the entire series on the line. The next goal may win it. Oh, Vort has to do a lot here. Does well to get it to the corner, but not out of dodge just yet. Mock. Too much juice on that ball. Vort's missed again, but Misty's offered a clearing opportunity. Exactly what Dumb Luck ordered. And maybe even a chance. Vort was looking for it. Now Mock, infield pass over to Misty. It's right in front of there. Laxon, another save. The MVP for Dumb Luck so far, but can he be the MVP of the series? It will be if he takes the win, but it has been looking dicey. Some good attacks coming out from the Him Police. They have been oh so close, inches away. And it would hurt if they take a loss just here, so they will get into that attack with 10 seconds remaining. Laxon just looking to slow and air dribble it down the other end of the pitch to get them out of dodge. A massive demo as well from the man, Laxon, who has been not stepping wrong throughout this series. Pass into Mock, hits the backboard. Laxon again is there. He's all over them. No way could he get this shot. No, he does not. Pass down to Vaughn. Oh, off the crossbar. Oh, is there chance? Unfortunate, but it's been going both ways. Neither team can find the luck today. And so it's going to have to go down to skill and grit and determination to win the series. Game 7 overtime. And if we thought these teams were close, they've at least proven that. Little awkward. Pass down, pre-flip. Luna doesn't get the change of direction. Misty will slow it down. It's going to hang in the corner for a while. A tense moment for both of these teams. And you can see they're happy for the slower pace. Double commit out. Laxon with the shot. He goes high against the crossbar. Backboard opportunity, but nobody wants to put that risk to go forward on it. Luna dribble down. Demoed away, so it's going to be Him Police. Maybe a chance to turn it around. Passed into center for Vort. Laxon gets the demo. Luna with a shot. Misty, the last man, needed to make the save. Vort for the double, and now it's Mock. All three members of the Him Police being tested on the defense so far, and all three have been up to the task. A pluses across the board. Vortex, they don't want to stop with this attack. Another opportunity for Laxon. Goes high, looks for the double, but couldn't get around it. How many chances will Dumb Luck get before they score? Now, Luna just opts to go high just to keep maybe stealing boost away. Vortex is the one to steal that boost. Gets the demo as well. Mock has to do a lot. He has to keep them in it. Vort's there. It's going to be Luna instead to take the shot. Now here's the counter attack. Misty gets the flip reset. An extra touch. And all saved by Vort this time. But it did require Laxon to be the player to force out the issue in the first place. Now Shaw's got to take a turn. Little too much touch on that second one. Goes the other way. Luna high. Goes for the bump. Misses as Mock gets it down to Shores. Laxman a little bit awkward. Has Misty to beat. And Misty will be waiting on the wall. Doesn't have the infield pass, so goes for that solo play. 2 minutes into overtime. Nobody able to score. There's been a lot of shots. Is that enough? No. Saved by Vaughn again. Here we go. Mock. Touched out by Laxon. It goes the other way. And Misty able to make what save he could and even get it across the shores at the same time. Misty's having to go and get aerial multiple times in a row. A massive miss from Laxon, and Luna 1v2 keeps them out. But you're still worrying about the energy of Dumb Luck in particular. Have had so many chances here in this overtime. Gotta be frustrating. Mock looked like he must have been low on boosts. Only just stretching himself out to that one. Luna goes high, looking for the double. Does manage to find it. A pretty comfortable position here for Him Police. Laxon looking for the double as well. Really searching for this goal. It's been a massive demo. Oh, and Vortex has faked out Luna. It's another disaster. Complete misplay coming out from Dumb Luck on the line. They've had their chances. They've thrown them all away. And now another one. Vortex going for the shot. Misty was there covering. 3.5 minutes. This game 7 starting to heat up. Luna beats 1. Has an opening for Laxon. Laxon has to do it, and he doesn't. He's managed to block out by Misty again. The miracle save with every pixel across the line, but still just enough. Laxon again at the other end. Laxon all over the pitch. Laxon with 4 minutes into this one has kept them alive again. Luna, oh, that's off the post. How many have to go so close yet so far for dumb luck before one goes in? Misty has been an absolute rock at this defensive end. Oh, it's so close. Shores and Misty. Misty was pushing forward for the demo. Mock goes back, has the support, wants to go solo instead. Oh, a terrible pass. Luna has forced Laxon to once again make that save and be the hero for dumb luck. It goes high, 4 minutes and a half. We're about to hit that magical 2-game limit with 5 minutes into overtime. Mock just keeping it high and letting Laxon have his way with it. Luna looks to block off Shores. It's going to be Misty. No, does not get contact, but that does fake out the defense for dumb luck. A bit of a turnaround. Misty misses. He's been crucial to the defense so far, so he's going to have to get back, and he does. Mock is there with him, gets that first touch, looks to get it around Laxon. Laxon with a pass in the center for Luna, but Luna leaves it, and Vortex has to get a touch. He was the last man back. A big touch. Oh, Vortex gets bumped. Is there a finish? Shores stays in front, was looking for the demo instead. Vortex just gets some kind of contact to slow down Misty here. 5.5 minutes. No goal just yet. Opportunities galore for each team. But you can tell their fingers have got to be getting white. Blood draining out of them. The tiredness has to be coming in as well. Mock down to Shores. Looks for the shot on. And here we go. Misty for the double. Goes wide again. Shores wants to sync it up with Mock. He's got it on target. No, it's crossbar. Shores, can he get it? No, they've done everything they possibly could except put it in. Oh my, what a game of Rocket League. No one having any luck. Diving left and right. Shots on, but not quite in. Oh, there we go. Shores fakes one, fakes two. He's got the 50, but oh, forward out of nowhere, gets back in time. Shores was about to be him, but not just yet. The MVP cannot be decided as Shores, he's stepping up in the last 30 seconds. He wants this win, but he can't find it. He's doing everything he possibly can. Shores slows it down. Past one. Tries to 50 Vort. It goes out to Misty, who just takes the shot. But a double commit and a team bump. Luna's rushing back. That's all he can do. And that's in. Shores! He worked so hard in these 7 minutes. He had so many chances, and what a brilliant shot. That's got to go down in memory, at least in Shores' memory, of one of his greatest shots to take him police across the line in a 7-minute Game 7 overtime. What could have been just any old series, a tiebreaker in the middle of the week of RLCS, became one of RLCS's greatest series of all time. One of the more memorable series, not for the successes, but because of how difficult it was to score, because of the failings, because of the hardships, and the true determination that both of these teams put in this tiebreaker. What a series. I'm glad we got to cover it. I hope you all had a great time at home. But there we go, Him Police. They go through to the main event. They prove that they are the number 4 team. They also show that they could have been number 3 on the weekend if that match had been played. And most notably, Dumb Luck have at least shown that it is an incredibly tight battle between the two teams.